Listen to this question. Your fifth question is a student is joining the class. Your sixth and seventh questions are a student is leaving the class. Your eighth question is a student is joining the class and another student is leaving the class. It is a combination of both the questions, right? All the three varieties are covered. Now see here. Question number 8. Question number 8. Please see the 8th question. The average age of a class of 40 students is 30 years. That means if this is the classroom, there are 40 students in the class. There are 40 students in the class. Average age of 40 students is given as 30 years. That means all 40 students are 30 years of age. All 40 students are 30 years of age. Like that we can assume it, right? Now see here. A student joins the class. One student is joining the class. And at the same time, a student who was already there in the class leaves the class. At the same time, a student who was already among these 40 students, he is leaving the class. He is leaving the class. The new average age now becomes 32 years. Because this is happening, the new average age becomes 32 years. The new average age of the class becomes 32 years. Now the question is, what is the age of the student who leaves the class? What is the age of the student who leaves the class? If I call the person's age of the student who leaves the class as y years, they are asking what is the value of y. If I call the age of the student who joins the class as x years, x is not asked, but let us calculate if it is able to calculate. Clear with the question, right? 40 students are there, average age is 30 years. One student joins the class, at the same time one student leaves the class. Now the new average age becomes 32 years. What is the age of the student who leaves the class? Right? See here. Now see here. What is average? Average is nothing but sum of the quantities by number of quantities. 40 students are there. Average age is 30 years. That means all 40 are 30 years of age. What is the total sum? Total sum of the entire class as of now is 40 into 30. 40 into 30. One student joins the class. His age is x years. His age is x years. Another student leaves the class. His age is y years. Because he is leaving the class, I will put it negative sign. This is sum of the quantities divided by number of quantities. Earlier 40 students were there. One student joined, it became 41. Another student left. Again it became 40 students. The number of quantities is 40. Because these things are happening, the average becomes 32 years. The average becomes 32 years. Now if I simplify, 40 into 30 is 1200. 1200 plus x minus y is 40 into 32. It is 1280. It is 1280. X minus y is nothing but 1280 minus 1200. It is 80. 1280 minus 1200, it is 80. Now see here. Difference of two numbers is 80. When can the difference of two numbers be 80? 81 minus 1 is 80. 82 minus 2 is 80. 83 minus 3 is 80. Similarly, 90 minus 10 is 80. 100 minus 20 is 80. Like that you can form so many values of x and y, which will satisfy this equation, right? Which will satisfy this equation. But the question is, what is the value of y? What is the value of y? Can you definitely tell me the answer saying yes? The value of y is 3 years. Can you definitely tell the statement? No. That means you cannot tell that value of y is definitely 3 years because no information is given about the value of x. If suppose x is 83 years, the person who joined the class, if his age is given as 83 years, then only you can tell the answer as the person who leaves the class age is 3 years. Otherwise you cannot tell definitely or uniquely. The y value can be 3 years or 10 years or 20 years, whatever it can be. If at all suppose it is stated in the statement as or in the question as the person who joined the class or the person who leaves the class, whatever the age, one person's age should be definitely given. Person who joined the class, his age is 90 years. Then only you can tell it as the person who is leaving the class, his age is 10 years. Otherwise you cannot definitely tell that it is 10 years. That means you cannot uniquely determine the values of y. There are so many values of y that you can take into consideration. That means answer for this question is, because there is no information about the value of x, answer for this question is cannot be determined uniquely. You cannot uniquely determine the value of y in this case. Answer for this question is cannot be determined uniquely. Clear with the approach? At least one person's age should be given. Then only you can calculate the other person's age. Clear with the approach? Please write down. I think the flow is very clear, right? A person joining the class. Next question is a person leaving the class. Then it is a combination of both of them, joining and leaving. Clear? Please write it. Please understand each and every step and then write it. It is very important for you to understand it. Clear, right? Please see here. Question number 9. Once you have understood these many questions, the remaining questions it will be little bit easier. But although they are tricky questions, let us solve it. Let us try to solve it in the easiest way. See here. Question number 9. 5 years ago, the average of Raja and Rani's ages was 20 years. What is the meaning of average of two people is 20? Both of them are 20, right? Both of them are 20. That means 5 years ago, Raja is also 20 years, Rani is also 20 years. Total of Raja and Rani's ages. Total of Raja and Rani ages. It is 20 plus 20. It is 40 years. 40 years is the total ages of Raja and Rani 5 years ago. Presently, at present, they both will grow for 5 years, right? Raja will also grow for 5 years, Rani will also grow for 5 years. That means total ages will become, at present the total ages of Raja and Rani will be 40 plus this person's 5 plus this person's 5. It is 50 years. Presently the total of Raja and Rani's ages is 50 years, right? We are still in the first statement. Please read the second statement. Now the average of Raja, Rani and Rama is 30 years. Average of Raja, Rani and Rama is 30 years means all three people are 30 years of age. That means present, now is nothing but present situation. Presently, Raja plus Rani plus Rama, these people's sum is all three people are 30 years of age. 30 plus 30 plus 30, it becomes 90 years. Presently, the total sum of three people is 90 years. But presently, the total of these two people is 50 years. That means these two is 50 plus Rama is 90 plus Rama is equal to 90. That means Rama's present age is 90 minus 50. 90 minus 50 is 40 years. But the question is not asking for the present age of Rama. Please read the question. What will be Rama's age after 10 years? Presently he is 40 years. After 10 years what will be his age? 40 plus 10. After 10 years he will be 50 years of age. Answer for this question is 50 years. Again, if you observe this question, the only key point what we usually discuss, the average of these three people is 30 means all three are 30. That is the only key point which we are using, nothing else. Understanding the approach? Please write down the question. Please write down. Clear, right? Can I move on to the next question? Question number 10. Please see here, question number 10. The average mark obtained by 120 candidates in a certain examination is 35. That means let us represent it pictorially so that it will be easier for you to understand. There are 120 students in a class. The average mark obtained by 120 candidates is 35. Average mark is 35. That means we can assume that all 120 students are getting 35 marks. That is an assumption, right? Now see here. If the average marks of passed candidate is 39, average marks of passed candidates, it is given as 39 marks, and that of failed candidates is 15. Average of failed candidates is given as 15 marks. Then what is the number of candidates who passed the examination? How many students passed the examination is the question. I will repeat the question. There are 120 students in the class. Some students passed, some students failed. Average mark is 35. The people who passed the examination, their average mark is 39. And the people who failed the examination, their average mark is 15. How many students passed the examination? That is the question. Clear with the question? Now see here. The best way to solve this question is, if you observe the question, there are 4 options given. First option is 110, next it is 115, next 120, next it is 100, Now see here, the best way to solve this question is by solving by answer options. Among the given options, these 4 options, the easiest option is 100. Check out with 100. Let us take it. What is the question? First of all, the question says, what is the number of students, candidates who passed the examination? That means answer option also represents how many students are passing the examination. Among all these options, easiest option is 100. Let us start with 100. That means I am assuming that 100 students passed the examination. 100 students passed the examination. If 100 passed the examination, totally 120 students. Remaining 20 students failed the examination. Remaining 20 students failed the examination. Now see here. Average of passed candidates is 39. If 100 students are writing, first of all, 120 students are there. Average mark is 35. Average mark is 35. That means total marks what all the 120 students got is 120 into 35. All 120 got 35 marks. It is 120 into 35. 120 into 35 is 4,200. Total marks is 4,200. Clear with this approach? Total marks is 4,200. Now see here. I am assuming it has 100 passed. Passed candidates average is 39. If one person, what is the meaning of average of passed candidates is 39? All 100 candidates got 39 marks. That means total passing marks is 39 into 100. It is 3900. Remaining, the second statement says average of failed candidates is 15. There are 20 failed candidates. All 20 got 15 marks. Total failed marks is 15 into 20. 15 into 20. It is 300. Total passing marks is 3900. Total failing marks is 300. What is the total mark? 3900 plus 300. It is 4200. And that is actually matching with the total marks of the given data. Total marks of the given data. That means our assumption of 100 is correct. If 100 is incorrect, go with the next option or go with the next option. If that is also not correct, go with the last option. Right? Easiest way to solve it by answer option, because you know how many passed candidates are there, how many failed candidates are there. Just check out if these two are matching. If these two are matching, our assumption is correct. If they are not matching, the assumption is incorrect. Clear with the approach? Please write on this question. Clear with the approach, right? So, clear, right? I think please do not use any formulas or variables when you are solving a question on averages. These are the very good questions what you can solve in averages, right? Please write on the heading, problems based on mixture. Problems based on mixture. Problems on mixture. Very important topic. Please listen to this carefully. I'll discuss 3 questions together. After 3 questions, you can copy down. Please hear. Problems on mixture. You'll understand the basics of mixture in the problem itself. Please listen to this problem. Please hear. First question. How many liters of water need to be added to 30 liters of 3:1 milk and water solution so that the mixture has milk and water in the ratio 2:3? Let us read the question once again. I am sure that you did not understand in the first shot. Let us read statement by statement. See here. There is a method. How many liters of water need to be added? You are adding some liters of water. I don't know how much it is. That is what they are asking us. How many liters of water need to be added? To 30 liters of. That means initial volume is 30 liters. Initial volume is 30 liters. 30 liters of 3:1 milk and water solution. Initial ratio of milk and water is 3:1. So that the mixture has milk and water in the ratio 2:3. Final ratio of milk and water becomes 2:3. Final ratio of milk and water becomes 2:3. Again, I repeat the question. Initially, you had 30 liters of mixture. Initial ratio of milk and water is 3:1. This ratio of 3:1 milk and water solution is finally becoming 2:3 milk and water solution. For 3:1 to become 2:3, you are adding some water. How much water you are adding? That is the question. Clear with the question? Now see here. Listen to this very carefully. The concept used here is always work with the parameter. Always work with the parameter. Always work with the parameter which is unaffected. Always work with the parameter which is unaffected. Now, what is the meaning of this statement? See here. You are adding water quantity to the vessel. If you are adding water to the vessel, water quantity will get affected. Which will not get affected? Milk will not get affected. That means for this particular problem, I need to work with milk parameter. Right? I need to work with milk parameter. See here. C1V1 is equal to C2V2. C1V1 is equal to C2V2. C is nothing but the concentration. C is nothing but the concentration. V is nothing but the volume. C is nothing but the concentration. V is nothing but the volume. One represents initial. 2 represents final. This is initial concentration, final concentration. Initial volume, final volume. Right here. Always work with the parameter which is unaffected. In this question, you are adding milk, water quantity. That means water will get affected. Milk is not affected. Work with milk in this question. Now here. Initial concentration. Initial ratio is 3:1. What is the meaning of 3:1? Out of total 3 plus 1. Out of total 3 plus 1 liter. That means out of total 4 liters. 3 liters belongs to milk. Why am I taking milk parameter? Because that is the parameter which is unaffected. It is 3 by 4 into initial volume is 30 liters. Initial volume is 30 liters. Final concentration is final concentration. Out of total 2 plus 3. Out of total 5 liters. 2 liters belongs to milk. 2 liters belongs to milk. And final volume is initially the vessel had 30 liters. And you are also adding W liters. Finally it will become 30 plus W. Finally it will become 30 plus W. You are asked to find the value of W. If you observe this equation, the only unknown variable in this equation is W. Cross multiply and simplify. You will get the value of W. W for this question is 26.25 liters. It is 26.25 liters. Clear with the approach? Clear right everyone? Hold on sir. Please do not write down until I complete the first 3 problems. After 3 problems you can write down. Please here. Second question. Clear with the first question, right? Second one. Please see the second question. 68 liters of milk was added. Let me write statement by statement. 68 liters of milk was added. You are adding 68 liters of milk. 68 liters of milk was added to 3:7 milk and water solution. Initial ratio of milk and water is 3:7. The ratio of milk and water in the resultant solution is 7:5. Final ratio of milk and water is 7:5. Final ratio of milk and water is 7:5. What is the volume of the original solution? You need to find the initial volume. If you observe this question and this question, this is nothing but the reverse of this question. In this question, this value is given. This is asked. Now this is asked and this value is given. That's the only difference. Right here. Same approach let us implement here also. C1 V1 is equal to C2 V2. First of all, always work with the parameter which is unaffected. You are adding milk quantity to the vessel. If you are adding milk quantity, milk parameter will get affected. Which is not affected, water will not be affected. That means you need to work with water in this case. Now see here. I will call the initial volume as V. Initial concentration. Out of total 3 plus 7, 10 liters. 7 liters belongs to water. Why am I taking water? Because that is the parameter which is unaffected. So it is 7 by 10 into initial volume I don't know. I will call it as V. Final concentration is out of total 7 plus 5, 12 liters. 5 liters belongs to water and final volume is initially it was V liters and you are adding 68 liters. Finally it becomes V plus 68. Now if you solve this, okay, let us solve it. If I solve this is 5 into 2 into 5. This is 2 into 6. If I cross multiply, this becomes 42 is equal to 25 into V plus 68. From here, if I simplify it, you will get the value of V because V is the only unknown variable in this equation. You will get the value of V. I am not interested in finding the answer. I am interested in building the script of concept. If you understand the concept, finding the answer is just simplification of this equation. Nothing else. Clear with the approach, right? Just simplify this equation, you will get the answer. So it is 42 V. It is 42 V. Clear with the approach, you will get the value of V. This is your second question. Now see. Question number 3. Third question. Listen to this third question. 66 liters of water was added. 66 liters of water was added to 5:1 milk and water solution. There is a vessel. I am adding 66 liters of water. 66 liters of water was added to 5:1 milk and water solution. Initial ratio of milk and water is 5:1. Initial ratio of milk and water is 5:1. The ratio of milk and water in the resultant solution is 5:3. Final ratio of milk and water is 5:3. What is the volume of the original solution? They are asking you to find the value of V. Clear with the question? Now see here. If you observe this question and this question, is there any change in two questions? This question and this question, there is no change in both the questions. Here also they are asking initial volume. Here also they are asking the same parameter. Initial ratio, final ratio is given. Here also they are given. Some parameter is added. Here also some parameter is added. There is no difference between second question and third question. But why did I take the third question? Right? Why did I take the third question? See here. Whatever the method is called for second question, that is nothing but your method 1. That is your method 1. If I solve it in a different way, see here. Please use method 1 for third question, you will get the answer. But I am not interested with method 1. Let us solve by a different approach. Listen to this carefully. Method 2. Method 2 will give you the answer very easily. Now see here. Always work with the parameter which is unaffected. You are adding water quantity to the vessel. If you are adding water to the vessel, water will get affected. Which will not get affected? Milk will not get affected. What is the meaning of milk will not get affected? Milk will not get affected means whatever the parameter or whatever the quantity of milk which was present initially, finally also same quantity of milk will be present, right? Initial quantity of milk, how much ever it was there, finally also same milk quantity will be there. That is the meaning of milk will not get affected, right? Same is what is told in ratios also. If you observe the ratios carefully, the same thing is being told in the ratios also. If you observe here, initially milk was 5 liters. Finally also milk is 5 liters only, right? Finally also milk is 5 liters. That means milk is not getting affected according to ratios also. According to ratios also. Now if you observe, initially water was 1 liter. Initially water was 1 liter. Finally water is becoming how much? 3 liters. Initially water was 1 liter. Finally water is becoming 3 liters. That means how much water you added? 1 liter is becoming 3 liters. You added 2 liters of water. That means according to the ratio, 2 liters of water is added. According to the ratio, 2 liters of water is added. But according to the question, 66 liters of water is added. But according to the question, 66 liters of water is added. Now, they are asking what is the initial volume. According to the ratio, initial volume is 5 liters of milk and 1 liter of water. Totally 6 liters of solution. According to the ratio, it is 6 liters of solution. According to the question, how much they are asking. If you observe, 2 liters of water is becoming 66 liters of water. 2 is becoming 66. Multiply by 33. 6 also multiply by 33. 6 into 33 is 198. Answer for this question is 198 liters. Even if you apply the same logic what we discussed in method 1, till you will end up with 198 liters only. That means, what is your method 1? In method 1, you are using something called as a variable V. In method 2, we are not interested in using any of the variables. Method 1 is a variable based approach. Method 2 is not by using any variables. Clear with the approach? This is by using a concept of ratios. This is by using a concept of algebra or variables. Clear, right? Whichever the method you feel that it is comfortable for you, please follow that method. Most of the students will feel this method as comfortable after they solve or practice more number of questions. You can directly tell the answer. You might ask me one more doubt in this particular case. What is that doubt? Please see here. You might ask me saying that water is added into the vessel. Water is added means milk is not affected. If milk is not affected, whatever the initial milk was present, finally also same quantity of milk should be present. And the ratio is also telling the same thing. Initially 5 liters of milk, finally also 5 liters of milk only. But what if they are telling different? That is the reason second question is taken. Right? That is the reason second question is taken. Once you write down all these things, we shall solve the second question also by using method 2. Let us check whether we will get the same answer. I think the answer for this question is 100 liters. Let us check we will get the same answer as 100 liters by using method 2. Clear with it, right? First write down these 3 questions. I will also discuss method 2 for second question. Please write down these 3 questions. Understand, right? Now see here. Listen to this carefully. If I want to solve the second question by method 2, please see here. Second question I need to solve by method 2. Listen to this carefully. What is your second question? Your second question says 68 liters of milk is added. 68 liters of milk is added to initial milk and water ratio of 3:7. So that the final ratio of milk and water will become 7:5. Final ratio will become 7:5. What is the initial volume? What is the initial volume? That is your second question. We solved by using variables. We got it as 100 liters. Let us solve by using method 2, which is by usage of ratios. Let us check whether we will get the same answer. Now see here. Always work with the parameter which is unaffected. You are adding milk parameter into the method. If you are adding milk parameter, milk will get affected. What is not affected? Water is not affected. That means what is the meaning of water is not affected? How much ever water quantity was there initially, finally also same water quantity should be present. But according to the ratio, initial water is 7, final water is 5. But according to the question, they both should be same because water is not getting affected. Water is not getting affected means both of them should be same finally. Both of them should be same finally. That means 7 and 5 are different numbers, but actually they should be the same number because water is not getting affected in this case. Actually they should be the same number. That means you need to make this both 7 and 5, this 7 and this 5 as same number. When will 7 and 5 meet together? What is that number which is the same number which can be made from 7 and 5? That is nothing but the LCM of 7 and 5. What is the LCM of 7 and 5? LCM of 7 and 5 is nothing but 35. That means make both of these numbers as 35. Make both of these numbers as 35. How to make both the numbers as 35? Initial ratio of milk and water is 3:7. This 7 should become 35. Multiply this entire thing by 5. Now this becomes 3 into 5 15. 7 into 5 is 35. Final ratio of milk and water is 7:5. This 5 should become 35. Multiply by 7. 5 into 7 is only 35. 7 into 7 is 49. 5 into 7 is 35. Now if you observe, both the water quantities initially and finally, they both are same. And that is what is actually telling told in the question also. Right? Now see here. It's very easy once you understand this. Now, according to the ratio, initially 15 liters of milk is there. Finally 49 liters of milk is there. 15 liters is becoming 49 liters. How much more milk you added? 34 liters. 49 minus 15. That means according to the ratio, 34 liters of milk is added. According to the ratio, 34 liters of milk is added. But according to the question, 68 liters of milk is added. According to the question, 68 liters of milk is added. Same is the case. They are asking the initial volume. According to the ratio, initial volume is 15 liters of milk, 35 liters of water. Total it is 15 plus 35. 50 liters of solution. According to the ratio, it is 50 liters. According to the question, how much they are asking? 34 is becoming 68. Multiply by 2. 50 also multiply by 2. What is 50 into 2? 100. Answer for this question is 100 liters. And that is the same answer what we got in the method 1 also. Clear with the approach? Whenever, suppose, this question is they both are same. You need not do all these multiplying factors, everything, because they both are same already. But if they are not same, make them same. How can I make 7 and 5 same? By taking their LCM. LCM of 7 and 5 is 35. Make both of them as 35 and solve the same approach what we did there for the third question. Clear with the approach? Ratios concept will always give you the answer in lesser time. If you are not interested with using the concept of ratios, if you are comfortable by using the concept of variables, please go ahead. But my suggestion is, please do not try to use variables or formulas unless it is really required. There are some more beautiful concepts what you are studying. Please try to implement those beautiful approaches. Clear? Please write down this method 2 for second question. This is your method 2. This is your second method for the second question. Clear? Clear with the approach? See here. Once you understood this ratio concept, next two questions will become very simple. They are actually very good questions. It becomes a very simple question. Please see here. Question number 4 and 5. I will solve both the questions simultaneously because a slight difference is there in both the questions. Please see the fourth question. Questions 4 and 5. Question number 4. Two alloys containing copper and iron in the ratio 5:8 and 5:3 are melted in equal quantities. What is the ratio of iron and copper in the resultant alloy? Let us read the question again. There are two alloys. Two alloys are alloy 1 and alloy 2. There are two alloys, alloy 1 and alloy 2, containing copper and iron in the ratio 5:8 and 5:3. Copper and iron is in the ratio 5:8 is the first alloy, and it is in the ratio 5:3 in the second alloy. They are melted in equal quantities. Please underline that word, equal quantities. Two alloys containing copper and iron in the ratio 5:8 and 5:3 are melted in equal quantities. What is the ratio of iron and copper in the resultant alloy? See here. First of all, alloy 1 contains 5 units of copper, 8 units of iron. Total it is 5 plus 8. 13 units are present in alloy 1. Similarly, alloy 2 is consisting of 5 units of copper, 3 units of iron. Total it is 5 plus 3, 8 units. 13 and 8. Alloy 1 is containing 13 units. Alloy 2 is containing 8 units. Are they in equal quantities? Is 13 and 8 both are same? Are they both same numbers? No. But the question says that they both should be equal quantities. That means you need to make this 13 and 8 as the same number. How will you make that as same number? Just now we discussed. 13 and 8 can be made as the same number by taking the LCM of 13 and 8. 13 and 8. LCM of 13 and 8 is 104. That means 13 should become 104 multiplied by 8. 8 should become 104 multiplied by 13. Multiplied by 13. Now if I refresh this diagram, now this becomes alloy 1 and alloy 2. Copper and iron ratio 5 into 8 is 40. 8 into 8 is 64. Similarly, alloy 2 5 into 13 3 into 13. It is 65 into 39. 65 into 39. Now if you check it out, 40 plus 64, it is 104. 65 plus 39 is also 104. Are they in equal quantities? Yes, they are in equal quantities. You made it as equal quantities, right? Now, if you check, what is the resultant? What is the question? What is the ratio of iron and copper in the resultant alloy? Copper is nothing but 40 plus 65, 105. Iron is 64 plus 39, 103. Copper is to iron in the resultant ratio is 105 to 103. But the question is asked for iron is to copper. Please be very careful at the last step. The answer is not 105 to 103. It is 103 to 105. Answer for this question is 103 to 105. Clear with the approach? Please write on this question. Clear with the fourth question, right? That means that here the quantities are not equal, but the question says it should be in equal quantities. We should make it equal. Now see here, fifth question. Fifth is the reverse of fourth question. Listen to this carefully. Fifth question. Two solutions containing milk and water in the ratio 2:3 and 3:2 are mixed in the ratio 1:4. That means, let us read the question again. There are two solutions, solution 1 and solution 2. Solution 1 and solution 2. Containing milk and water in the ratio 2:3 and 3:2. Milk and water is in the ratio 2:3 and 3:2. Milk and water is in this ratio. Are mixed in the ratio 1:4. They are mixed in the ratio 1:4. What is the final ratio of milk and water in the resultant mixture? Now if you observe carefully, solution 1 contains 2 liters of milk, 3 liters of water. Total it is 5 liters. Solution 2 contains 3 liters of milk, 2 liters of water. Total it is 5 liters. Now if you observe, they both are in equal quantities, but the question says that they should not be in equal quantities, but they should be mixed in the ratio 1:4. That means multiply this by 1, multiply this by 4. I think you are understanding the difference between these two questions, right? In this question, they both are not in equal quantities, but the question says they should be in equal quantities. Now in this question, they both are in equal quantities, but the question says they should not be in equal quantities. They should be in the ratio 1:4, multiplied by 1 and 4. Now the table again becomes solution 1, solution 2. 2:3 into 1, it becomes 2:3. 3 into 4 is 12. 2 into 4 is 8. The final ratio of milk and water is in the resultant mixture is 14:11. 14:11. It's a very simple way of solving by the usage of ratios. Please do not take it as 5x, 8x, 5x, 3x or 5y, 3y, all those things and make yourself two equations, solving those two equations. Unnecessarily you will make yourself complicated. Please do not use all those things. It's a simple application. They both are not equal, make it equal. They both are equal, make it unequal. That is what you need to understand. Clear with the approach? Please write down the fourth and fifth question. Understanding, right? Clear, right? I think you understood the difference between fourth and fifth question, right? Now see, question number 6 and 7. Listen to these two questions. Question 6 and question 7. Before I move on to actual question, I'll just discuss a small key point. Suppose see here. there is a vessel. There is a vessel. In this vessel, there is milk and there is also water. There is milk and there is also water. If both milk and water is present in the vessel, it becomes a solution. It becomes a solution or it becomes a mixture. Anything you can call it. It becomes a solution or mixture. Now, if I tell that I will take out 10% of solution. I will take out 10% of solution from this vessel. What is the meaning of taking out 10% of solution? 10% is nothing but 1 by 10. That means 1 by 10 of solution is taken out. 1 by 10 of solution is taken out means solution is nothing but a combination of both milk and water. That means 1 by 10 of milk plus W is taken out. This means that 1 by 10 of milk is taken out and 1 by 10 of water is also taken out. Right? 1 by 10 of water is also taken out. If 10% of solution is taken out, solution is a combination of milk and water. It is 1 by 10 of milk and 1 by 10 of water is taken out. Right? Now see this. This is just simple understanding that you need to know for the next question. Now see the sixth question. Question number 6. Question number 6. Let us understand the question. In a mixture of 80 liters, there is a vessel. There is a vessel. Initial volume of this vessel is 80 liters. In a mixture of 80 liters, milk and water are in the ratio 1:1. Initial ratio of milk and water. Initial ratio of milk and water. It is given as 1:1. It is given as 1:1. If 24 liters of this mixture is replaced by 16 liters of milk, that means I will take out 24 liters of mixture. I will take out 24 liters of mixture and I am replacing it with 16 liters of milk. And I am replacing it with 16 liters of milk. Find the ratio of milk and water in the resultant solution. Resultant result. Now see here. They are asking final ratio of milk and water. They are asking the final ratio of milk and water. Clear with the question, right? Now see here. If you observe carefully, initial ratio of milk and water is 1:1. Initially 80 liters of solution is present. That means initially milk, how much was present? Out of total 1 plus 1, out of total 2 liters, 1 liter belongs to milk and the total volume is 80 liters. So 40 liters of milk is present. How much water is present? Out of 80 is 40 is milk, remaining 40 should be water, or in other words, out of total 2 liters, 1 liter belongs to water and the total volume is 80 liters. 40 liters of water is present. Right? 40 liters of water is present. Or in simple words, 1:1 is nothing but equal ratios. 80 liters should be divided equally. It is 40 and 40. Right? It is 40 and 40. Initially 40 liters of milk is present. 40 liters of water is also present. Clear with that, right? Now see that. I want to find the final ratio of milk and water. I want to find the final ratio of milk and water. Now, if you observe carefully, initial ratio of milk and water is 40 by 40. Initial ratio of milk and water is 40 by 40. I am taking out 24 liters of mixture. 24 liters of mixture is nothing but I am taking both milk and water. I am taking both milk and water because it is a mixture. Mixture is a combination of milk and water. Just now I explained you, right? How am I taking the 24 liters of mixture? The 24 liters of mixture, it is taken in the ratio of 1:1. That is also taken in the ratio of 1:1. That means 1:1 is nothing but equal ratios. 24 liters of mixture is taken in equal ratio. That means 12 liters of milk is taken out, 12 liters of water is taken out. Taking out is nothing but negative. So 12 liters of milk is taken out, 12 liters of water is taken out. But I will just not write it as 12. I will tell you how to get that 12 because if I write it as 12, it will be only applicable easier for this particular question. If I want to solve 7th question, let us build a script. Let us build a script. Now see here. How to get it as 12 and 12? Very simple. Out of total 2 liters, 1 liter belongs to milk and the total mixture which is taken out is 24 liters. 1 by 2 of 24 is nothing but 12 only. Similarly, water. Out of total 2 liters, 1 liter belongs to water and the total mixture taken out is 24 liters. Understanding, right? So this is minus 12 and minus 12. Now, you are adding 16 liters of milk to the vessel. So it is plus 16 milk. Are you adding any water quantity to the vessel? You are not adding any water. So water addition is 0. Now, simplify this expression. Simplify this equation. Whatever the answer you get, that is the final ratio of milk and water. I am not interested with the answer. I am interested in building the script. How to get this is what I am interested with. Clear with that point, right? Now see here. Same application I will apply for 7th question. Listen to the 7th question. The 6th question and 7th question both are same. only the ratio is different. That is the reason I discussed initially for 1:1, right? Here. Please see the seventh question. Your seventh question says, in a mixture of 80 liters, initial volume is 80 liters. Milk and water are in the ratio 7:3. Initial ratio of milk and water is 7:3. If 24 liters of mixture is replaced by 16 liters of milk, same question, both are same, only the ratio is different. So 24 liters of mixture I am taking out and I am replacing it with 16 liters of milk and I am replacing it with 16 liters of milk. You are asked to find the final ratio of milk and water is the result. The final ratio of milk and water is the result. Same application. Initially how much milk was present? Out of total 10 liters, 7 liters belongs to milk and total volume is 80 liters. 7 into 80 is 56 liters. Out of 80 liters, if 56 liters is milk, remaining 24 liters is water. Right? Now see here. I need to find the final ratio of milk and water. Final ratio of milk and water is, initial ratio is 56 by 24. That is nothing but 7 into 3 only, right? 56 by 24. Now, you are taking out 24 liters of mixture. In what ratio you are taking the 24 liters of mixture? You are taking in the ratio 7 into 3. That means out of total 10 liters, 7 liters belongs to milk and total mixture taken out is 24 liters. Similarly, water, out of total 10 liters, 3 liters belongs to water and the total mixture taken out is 24 liters. You are adding 16 liters of milk to the vessel. You are not adding any water. Take the LCM, simplify. Whatever the answer you get, that is the answer. Clear with the approach? If I tell you directly this point in this question, you will not understand the question clearly. That is the reason I initially took the ratio as 1:1 and solved the question. Then only I replicated the same concept to the next question. Understanding the approach? Please write down. Please understand each and every point. These are some of the beautiful methods to solve this kind of questions. There are several methods, but this is one of the easiest methods to solve this particular question. Clear, right? Please write down question number 6 and 7. Before that, you need to understand this concept also. Clear? Please write down. Clear? Please see. Question number 8. Please listen to this question 8 properly. If you understand question 8, question 9, 10, 11, all three questions can be solved very, very easily. Please see. 8th question. A vendor mixes 68 kgs of apples, purchased at 63 rupees per kg. A vendor mixes 68 kgs of apples, purchased at 63 rupees per kg. He mixes with 85 kgs of apple. He will mix with 85 kgs of apple, purchased at 81 rupees per kg. Find the average cost price of the resultant apples per kg. You need to find the average cost price. You need to find the average. See here. I will discuss in two methods. Method 1. See here. Method 1. Average is nothing but sum of the quantities divided by number of quantities. Sum of the quantities. For 1 kg it is 63 rupees. For 68 kg it is 63 into 68 rupees. Similarly, second quantity. For 1 kg it is 81 rupees. For 85 kg it is 81 into 85 divided by total number of quantities. 68 plus 85. It is 153. 68 plus 85 is 153. Now see here. One way to solve it. Multiply these two numbers, add it, divide by 153. You will get the answer. But it is a very, very tedious process because the numbers are bigger enough. Right? Now see here. If you remember, we discussed some concept called as tentative average. Right? Tentative average. Now, I will take the tentative average as 63. Why am I taking it as 63? Why don't I take it as 60 or some other round figure? Very simple. If I take it as 63 with respect to 63, how much deviation is happening? There is no deviation. Deviation is 0. 0 multiplied by any number, it becomes a 0. That means you are able to make one number as 0 and one multiplication as 0 in fact. And therefore your time is very, very reduced. You will take less time to calculate that. That is the only reason of taking 63. If you take 60 also, still you will get the answer. 63 and 60, difference is 3. 3 into 68, you need to multiply it. Instead of that, I am taking 63 so that it becomes 0. 0 into 68 is 0. Next. 81 and 63. What is the difference? 18. 18 into 85 divided by 153. Now if I simplify this is 17 into 5 is 85. 17 into 9 is 153. 9 into 1, 9 into 2. This is 63 plus 2 into 5 is 10. 63 plus 10 is 73. Average cost price per kg of apples is 73 rupees. Right? Clear with this approach? This is by using the definition of average. Sum of the quantities by number of quantities. Right? Okay. I am not interested in method 1. Let us simplify this problem to a greater extent. Please here. Method 2. Method 2. See here. What is the question? The question is telling us 68 kgs of apple is mixed with costing 63 rupees per kg is mixed with 85 kgs of apple. 85 kgs of apple costing 81 rupees per kg. You need to find what is the average cost price of the apples per kg, resultant apples per kg. Now see here. This is 68 kgs. This is 85 kgs. Whenever two quantities are mixed, the quantities are not important. What is important is in what ratio they are mixed is important. Now this is 17 into 4. This is 17 into 5. That means they are mixed in the ratio of 4:5, or they are mixed in the ratio of 68:85, right? Or in other words, it is 4:5. Now see here. This is 63 rupees. This is 81 rupees. Average, I already told you a key point in the initial class. Average always lies between lowest and highest values in the given series. Lowest value is 63, highest value is 81. Average should be in between 63 and 81. That is what we got the answer. 73 is in between 63 and 81. Now, see here. Average should lie between the lowest and highest value. What is the meaning of average should be between lowest and highest value? That means average should be greater than the lowest value, or in other words, it should be less than the highest value. It should be less than the highest value. What is the meaning of average is greater than 63? Any number which is greater than 63 is of the form 63 plus something. 63 plus something, right? Then only it becomes greater than 63. Now see here, listen to this carefully. 63. What is the diagonal element of 63? Diagonal element of 63 is 5. Write down 5 divided by. What is the sum of these two? 5 plus 4, 9. Sum of these two is 9. Write down 9 into. What is the difference of these two? Difference of these two is 81 minus 63. It is 18. Write down 18. 9 into 1, 9 into 2. What is 5 into 2? 10. 63 plus 10 is 73. That is what we got here also. If you observe carefully, this is nothing but my tentative average. What I have taken. 5 into 18 by 9. That is what I got here also. 5 into 18 by 9. 5 into 18 by 9. If I simplify that, it becomes 5 into 2 by 9 actually, right? This 0 is nothing but I took the tentative average. The difference between the actual number and the tentative average is 0. That is invisible here. That is not visible here. Actually, this method and this method, they both are same, right? They both are same. You can also solve this by one more method. What is that method? Just now I discussed. Average always lies between the lowest and highest values in the given series. That means average should be greater than the lowest value. It is 63 plus something. Or average should be less than the highest value. Less than 81 means it should be 81 minus something. It should be 81 minus something. Same analogy. Diagonal element of 81 is 4. Write down 4. Sum of these two, 5 plus 4 is 9. Write down 9 into difference of these two, 81 minus 63. What is the difference? 18. Write down 18. 9 into 1, 9 into 2. 81 minus 8. 81 minus 8 is also 73. Clear with the approach? You need not apply all these methods. It is just a simple concept. Average should be greater than the lowest value, or average is lesser than the highest value. By that you will easily solve this particular question. Clear with this approach? Same application we will use it for the next 3 questions. Question number 9, 10 and 11. First write down this question.